The Highlanders' home season comes to an end in regular season anyway, with 3 more games on the road after this. This is the regular season finale for the Highlanders at Centennial Stadium at the University of Victoria. Hello everyone, my name is Arturo. Welcome to this USL League 2 broadcast between the Victoria Highlanders and TSS Rovers of Vancouver. It's the Wanda Fuca Plate Derby. Joining me for this, Max Dalton. Max, let's start with the visitors, TSS Rovers. They started out like a house on fire, as we expected they would. 2 solid wins to start the year. And then they kind of fell off a cliff. No wins since then. It's been all gone wrong for the Rovers. What do they have to do to try and stabilize and get some pride back tonight?
I think that they really need to do the simple things correctly. It's a very simple game on paper, you know, pass and move, very simple, and just work as a team realistically, because if you don't do that, then you're never going to get results. So simple things.
Absolutely, and for the Highlanders, simple things will be the order of the day because they have shaken up their roster by losing 5 players. Alex Michael Patrizzi, Jonathan and Joshua Walter, Connor Guillerme, and just a few hours ago, Victory Shambusho, all no longer with the team. However, Caleb Clark, former Vancouver Whitecap striker, has now joined the attack. So, almost a new look side, very much a short-handed side. How does Coach Niendorf keep this short-handed side together?
Well, I mean, they need to let the new guys go, know, of course, that realistically what the team's about and what they want to achieve and how it's been this season. They've been very successful, so they need to get that across to the new players as quickly as possible. Get the older guys to encourage the new guys and kind of play into that system, but most of all, allow them to play their game because they've been brought in for a reason. Just work together as a team as they have done this whole season so far.
Once again, Caleb Clark, the newbie on the side. Hopefully he can lead the Highlanders to victory. He's at the point of the spear in the attack tonight. Can he bring the Wanda Fuca Plate home? We'll find out after this.
Victoria Highlanders! The officials for this afternoon's match are referee Cole Now fans, please help me introduce the Island Savings starting 11 for your Victoria Highlanders! Led by head coach Thomas Niendorf. Number 30, Trevor Schneider. Number 4, Josh Banton. Number 22, Jake Ruby. Number 14, Ali Adi. Number 21, Iliad Shojai. Number 6, Sean Young. Number 10, Shun Takano. Number 8, Mackenzie Cole. Number 25, Caleb Clark. Number 16, Gote Indigney. And number 13, Daniel Davidson. Highlanders fans, please rise and remove your hats and join Stan Davis in the singing of the Canadian National Anthem. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, through faith with God, in all of us command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free, from far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
with that, Stan Davis with the Canadian National Anthem, and we are just about ready to kick off for this final home match of the regular season of the USL League 2 between the Victoria Highlanders and Vancouver's TSS Rovers. Already some pyro going off at the north end of the stadium. The Swan Guardians releasing some red and white smoke, not to be outdone. The Lakeside boys releasing their own yellow and black pyro. No pyro, no party. Truer words have never been spoken, Max.
Yes, I believe so. I'm looking forward to a very, very hotly contested game today. A lot on the line for both teams, local derby as well. So very much looking forward to it.
Guindo and Banton in the center circle here, as they will take care of the coin flip. Guindo starting in what appears to be a five-man backline for Rovers with Nicholas Papakyriakopoulos, Danilo Smichenko, Riley Pang, and Jordan Haynes. Luciano Trasolini getting the honors in net for Rovers. Midfield of Connor McMillan, Matteo Polisi, David Malamura, and Rahid Rahim, and a frontman of Gurman Jaj. For the Highlanders, it'll be Schneider getting the nod in goal. Four-man backline of Ruby, Banton, Adib, and Shojai. Midfield of Sean Young, Mackenzie Cole, Shun Takano, Gote Intigny, and Daniel Davidson. Something of a 4-2-3-1 we would suspect. And that one, as we mentioned off the top of the show, Caleb Clark. Not his first stint in League 2 when it was still called PDL. He was on the Vancouver Whitecaps U23 squad, so he will certainly be familiar with the level of competition here. As the Highlanders get ready for the opening kick, one last quick huddle and stretch, and away they go. Josh Banton with the armband for this, big number 4 at the back line. No Connor Guillerme beside him. We mentioned that off the top as well. Guillerme having made that move along with 3 other Highlanders. Once again, the path to pro in the USL to all points beyond coming up good. You see there at the center circle, it'll be Caleb Clark. There at the opening kick as the Rovers finish their little warm-up. And they take their positions as well. Josh there, the 13. Forward for Rovers. Joining him, number 7, Rahim. Rovers lining up 3 along the left, 4 along the left now as they prepare to take the opening kick. Smoke begins to billow around Centennial Stadium at the University of Victoria. This the second leg of the Juan de Fuga plate. For those of you following at home, the scoreline currently stands at 1-0 for the Highlanders, having won the away match at...
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a good game so far. I think the TSS really need to work hard to try and get themselves back, in terms of their credibility, because we know that they're a good team. But, with a tough kind of mid-season so far, it's going to be a really good opportunity for them to get back to where they believe they should be. So, like I said, looking forward to the game, and hopefully it's a good one for us tonight.
Their supporters, the Swan Guardians, hopefully bringing a little bit of Swan Guard Stadium with them. It should be noted that neither home nor away has been particularly kind to the Rovers. Hopefully they can get a little bit of a bounce here as they look to salvage some pride. A season that sees them fighting with the Portland Timbers U23 along the bottom. There we go, the opening kick from Rahim, and we are underway. Highlanders and Rovers. Opening ball headed down there by Davidson, and out it goes for a throw. Already a little bit of stoppage just down on the ground there was Jaj. He's back up and ready to go. Just a little bit of a knock early on in that challenge. And he's already up and mobile, dancing in with Banton. Throw in goes back though. Rovers will indeed go all the way back to the back line. Clark keeping an eye on things. And will be brought along the back line, all the way back to Trasolini. Guindo now. Pang here, moving up the left side, switching. Asking a lot there of Rahim. It'll be Shojai instead bringing it down. Schneider. Rahim was moving quickly there. Schneider had to get that away. Clark playing hold up there against Pang. Does knock it down. No one to follow it up, and that'll be claimed there by Haynes. Haynes playing sort of that anchorman role there in the center. Sort of a half-back between the center back and defensive midfield line. Over the head of Cole. Pang gets it over to Gindo. Control there from Matteo Polisi. Polisi currently the top goal scorer for Rovers, sitting on 5 goals this season. He'd love to add a one if you could play tally tonight, you have to think. But that will fall all the way back to Schneider. Jaj not able to get a toe to that, but it will go out for a Rovers throw.
Yeah, I see that TSS have started well, playing the ball on the floor. So, you know, nothing come of it just yet, but we'll see how the things shape up in the next few minutes here.
Into the area it goes. Off his line quickly was Schneider. Malamura was hanging around there looking to get his boots on something. Malamura sitting on 4 assists right now. That is the highest assist count for Rovers so far this season. Banton now. Goes long. The run of Clark. Pang will get there first. No, Clark will just... No, it will be Pang. He will knock that out just for a throw. High throw, though.
Let's see what Highlanders can do from this position. It's a good position here on the right-hand side. See if they can make anything of it here.
Jake Ruby back into the starting 11. Keenan Cawley starting this one on the bench, so Ruby no doubt looking to try and show that his manager's faith in him is justified, as that has been quite the battle for minutes throughout this season. Keenan Cawley and Jake Ruby looking to solidify that starter's role. It looked like Jake Ruby had it all sewn up, but then a little dip in form. In comes Keenan Cawley, and suddenly he is the man of the moment. Now, Ruby a chance to make his mark here on the Wanda Fuca plate. As that call goes the way of the Highlanders, and will be a free kick for Takano to stand over. Goes short, Davidson. Back to Takano. Looking for Intigny in the area. That'll go over him and fall to Smichenko. Intigny chases after him, though. Did it get a touch? No, it didn't. It went straight out there, so it will be a throw for the Highlanders. Shojai getting his choice of objects there to throw in.
It was a bit of a hopeful ball there, but they've ended up with a throw and attacking position. So sometimes you get those, sometimes you don't.
Shojai chested down under heavy pressure immediately. That will go out for a Highlanders throw. Heavy pressure immediately there from Smichenko. Inside it goes for Cole. Low for Clark. Tigney crosses low. Probably looking for Clark there. Couldn't quite find the target. Tigney one-on-one. Back to Shojai. Across the top of the area. Mackenzie Cole. Lose possession there. It's a fortunate bounce, and away go Rovers on the counter. The pass there, looking for Connor McMillan, is behind him, and off a boot it goes and out for a throw. A little bit of a let off there. I'm sure they'll take it.
Yeah, that was good tracking back there by Ruby. He recovered well, and it was good to get that ball out of play as quick as he could to regroup as a team.
Food, funds, and awareness for our island food banks.
Banton will watch that go out for a throw of his own.
Victoria mustard seed.
So far early on here, Max, as we hit the 5-minute mark, 0-0 between Highlanders and Rovers. It's been Rovers showing a strong start. They needed that to show that they could stay in this tie, and it's been Rovers doing a good job of controlling possessions in the early stages. And as I say that, a ball looking for Gauthier Intigny from Caleb Clark is easily met by Luciano Trasolini. Offside there, though, was Jaj, and that is called immediately.
Yeah, it's been a quite an open game so far. It's been played on the floor, which is really important, and in the middle of the park. So we'll see how things shape up as we go on.
There's been a little bit of a switch here now as Adib has moved into a left back position, and Sean Young is now moving into that center back role. Shojai has the overlap. Now Young has moved forward. This is more the lineup we expected, with Cole and Young playing low. Ball into the area for Takano. That's just beyond him, though. He will keep it in play, though, being watched closely by Kyriakopoulos. Cleared. Cross back in by Ruby. Over Davidson. Falls to Intigny. He won't be able to keep that in, though.
Yeah, good looking ball there. It was definitely inviting, right in the correct area of the field for the attacking players to attack. But unfortunately, it's come to nothing. So we'll have a goal kick.
Trasolini thought about going quickly there. He has Gindo right beside him. Polisi also coming deep to try and start something here. Opts to let the defense do the work here. Haynes now. Quickly Shadow Cole's forced a turnover there. Cole pokes it to Clark. Clark, little stutter, he lost it his feet though. Cole follows up, sliding in nicely. Is that a penalty? It is. I thought he'd got all ball, but the referee has disagreed with me, and at the 7th minute, it's an early penalty for the Highlanders.
Yeah, definitely. That came from nothing. It was just a real big fight there, and unfortunately for the TSS, they
Shadow Cole's forced a turnover there. Cole
them.
poked it to
really,
Clark.
really good play.
Clark.
And kind of lost the ball there by Clark, and it was really, really important for the TSS to get that ball clear. And unfortunately, it was a late challenge there.
Takano's penalty is a good one. Puts it low and away. Trussellini guessed wrong. Takano places it superbly inside the post. 1-0 Highlanders in the 8th minute. 2-0 on aggregate for the Wanda Fuca plate.
Definitely, that was a tidy finish there. Very, very nice finish. They're definitely in an inviting position now. 1-0 up from the first leg, 1-0 up in the second leg. So TSS have all to play for. But lovely little penalty there into the bottom left. Perfect place. Goalkeeper's never going to save it.
And after what looked like a promising start for Rovers, they are immediately pegged back. And another turnover here. Millen is having his fill in midfield. Banton, high press here from Polisi, trying to take the game by the scruff of his neck, or of its neck, I should say. Instead, a few bounces later, Clark goes down there in the challenge from Gindo. Referee decides it wasn't too bad. Waves play on. Gindo will gladly restart with Pang. Smichenko calling for it on the near side. Pang, does he see it? With Clark all over him, not quite, but he's fine to go to Polisi right up the middle instead, charging up the left. Trying to get past Takano. Does he manage to bank that off? He does indeed. It will be the game's first corner for the TSS Rovers.
Yeah, definitely. It was a good little play down the left-hand side there. Great defending from Victoria Highlanders. They tracked them down that wing, so it was really important. But TSS have that opportunity to come back into the game.
Struck ball high near post, flicked down. Actually, to two Highlanders' heads there. Very nearly in a dangerous position, but cleared in the end by Shojai. Not as far as you'd like, though, only as far as Haynes. In comes Antigone with a shove. And that will be called as a foul by the assistant referee, who had an excellent view of it. And now a free kick in a arguably better position than the corner here for Rovers.
Yeah, this is a really interesting position here. If you get the in-swing here, any touch on it, the likeliness is that it could end up in the back of the net. So let's see how the delivery is here.
Haynes stands over this. Polisi, Gindo, possible targets, goes up. Gindo rises and knocks it down, and we've got a game on here. Back of the net it goes. 1-1. We are level 10 minutes in.
This really is shaping up to be a cracking game. It really, really is. I mean, like I just said then before, any touch on the ball and it was likely to end in. So as you can see here, it's a lovely crossing with the left foot, very inviting, and right on the end of it is the captain himself. So very, very good finish.
Looked like Gindo would be the large target, but the ball dipped ever so perfectly directly in front of him. Allowing the little tap in. Not much Schneider could have done on that. But regardless, we are level on 1. Swan Guardians releasing their own pyro in response to the Lakeside Boys releasing theirs. I, for the sake of all involved, hope they brought enough pyro to last this match. If we're already at 1-1 at the 11th minute, this could be a smoky affair. Gindo strides forward. Alamura. Out wide for Smichenko. Watched by Shojai. Goes all the way back, this time to McMillan. Battles for it there, ended up losing out, but it does go off of Antigone. And McMillan will take the throw quickly. Turning there is Polisi. It's inside on Young. And down he goes. Referee isn't interested in the slightest. Immediately waved off by the man in the blue shirt, much to the dismay of Matteo Polisi. And instead it's Schneider rolling it up to Banton with Jaj watching him. Banton goes long. Pang will be waiting for it. Heads it down nicely. Over it goes. High boot there. No, actually going the way of the Highlanders. It was a little bit bit of a who me expression there from, I believe that was McMillan, and I honestly can't blame him. I thought for sure that was Takano with the high boot. Regardless, that's why I'm up here, not on the field. Banton waiting for his attackers to get forward. Josh Banton, TRU Wolfpack man. That long ball off of Gindo. Immediately cleared by Spachenko. Polisi, excuse me. That will fall very kindly. He's waiting for it there. It was McMillan. Can he get around Young? He can't. And Adib will stride forward. Ali Adib over the top, looking for the run here. And in offside was Caleb Clark. Gindo had just held his run enough. Left Clark offside. It will be a free kick here taken, and now Haynes all the way back to Pang. Watched by now 2 Highlanders, but gets away nicely to Polisi. Polisi all the way out to the left. Jaj looking for the run here, and that will go out for a throw. You could see the idea as they looked for the run of Raheem. Just not able to make that happen. Kyriakopoulos there, jostling on the left side with Cole. Banton intercepts. Low for Clark, one touch to Cole. Has to get past Haynes and does. Davidson under immediate pressure. 4 Rovers around him, but he gets away with it. Josh closes down Banton, but not in time. Little flick on from Davidson off of Cole. Fouls kindly. The ball there was looking perhaps for the run of either Tigny or Shojai. Found neither. Now Gindo back up the middle. One touch out to the far side. Spachenko. Millen looks long. Spachenko on the overlap. Adib will get there first. Gets it past. But snuffed out there by Polisi. Got Malamura. Now this is Malamura. Nice little give and go there, but closing his legs was Sean Young, not to be nutmegged. Shojai thought about clearing it there, opts to keep it. Now he will bank it out for the throw. Good patience there from Iliad Shojai.
Yeah, I think that Young did really well to recover then, because turning in midfield never particularly ends well, but good couple of challenges and good clearing up, so good work from Young.
Meanwhile, Davidson stuck in the leg there and got away with it. Referee not interested there, all ball. Lakeside boys will love that. And Antigone now. That ball hops over Malamura, but that's a good recovery there from Malamura. Gindo, though, under pressure here, gives it away. Clark bounces it off the big man. That will be out for a throw, a deep throw here for Highlanders.
And another great position here. Let's see how they can play this out. Quick movement, and let's see if they can get that ball into the box, create an opportunity for themselves.
They go short to start. Shojai. There's the ball into the box, but it goes between both McCole and Antigone. And now Young has to track back, as going forward there was Raheem. Does manage to poke it out far to the left. Kyriakopoulos gets into it there with Takano. Still gets the throw.
Bit of a cynical foul there, but with the player leaving you there, it sometimes is the right decision. So we'll see what comes from this.
All the way back it goes. Gindo being watched there by Clark, so instead it will be McMillan. And now the long ball over the top for Raheem. Jaj jostling there with Banton. It falls instead. He spun around there was Raheem by Young, not once but twice. McMillan. And now McMillan will win the throw here, or the free kick, excuse me. From not a bad position. Certainly Haynes' ball before for the opening goal was closer, taken quickly. Polisi liked his chances there for something. Opts to give it back. Cross into the area. Banton heads clear. Davidson, Clark. For the run of Antigone. Gauthier Antigone. Up against Gindo. Gindo does very well there to put a boot in. Nowhere for Antigone to go. Well defended by the big man. Adib is fouled that time.
That was a fantastic challenge there by Gindo. Well watched, bided his time, and fantastic challenge there to stop the attack.
Adib. Cole. Now some pressure here from the Rovers. They managed to get through it, though, to the Highlanders. Davidson all the way back to Banton. Plenty of jerseys forward. Banton picks a red one. Jaj. Gurman Jaj goes to the left. Kyriakopoulos with the long ball forward. Raheem. Lovely ball to the top of the area. One touch along the deck for Malamura. Malamura's cross over the head of everybody and right up the other side. Takano tracking back. He will end up getting the throw.
There was a really good position there for TSS. I think a tidier ball and they would have been in there.
Clark and Pang. Pang will easily win the race for this one. Back up the line. Kyriakopoulos going all the way back to Guindo. Guindo's clearance is a bit askew. Smichenko will come back to help, but Antigny will get there first. Antigny. Low ball for the run of Davidson. Back across the area. You can see the idea there looking for Clark, but neither the action or the pace. Second ball from Takano. You can see the thought process here, Max. They want the ball on the foot of Caleb Clark there. 2 chances, unfortunately, no good ones.
Yeah, they really do. Heard really good things about this guy, so, you know, they obviously trust him. He's the main target, but there I think it was the wrong decision.
Malamura thinks about it there, but it will leave for Smichenko. Millen and Malamura on this near side here with Smichenko. Jostling there was McMillan with Young. Young wins out. Takano has a little bit of space. Goes low on the deck there, but Clark is in an offside position. Flag went up. Play continues as Clark had checked his run and there was no clear advantage. Polisi. Pang. Up to Kyriakopoulos. Touched forward there by McMillan. On the run here. Watched by Takano, puts it low. Malamura. Smichenko. Look at their head of Intigny. Haynes. Thought about switching. Cuts back inside. That's given away to Intigny, but given right back to Haynes. Malamura to Smichenko. Does he put the cross in? He does. That's blocked, though, by Shojai, and Schneider will just keep that in. Referee stopped the play for just a moment, though, as Malamura was on the deck. And indeed, he is only just getting to his feet now. Looks all right, though. Just casually walk that off as the supporters sing and drum from their end of the stadium.
Always great support here at the Centennial Stadium.
Absolutely. You saw President Jason Armand there of the Lakeside Boys with the 2 drums strapped around. I'm sure he would love to be presenting the Supporters' Choice Award for MVP to a plate-winning team tonight. As the sun is just starting to come out now, you can see a little bit of shadows peeking through the cloud. That may end up posing a difficulty for Trevor Schneider as it'll be right in his eyes. Intigny now. Davidson. Tries his luck low near post.
Yeah, it was a very good strike there. It's always a bit of an off one if you're going to go for the near post there, but he saw the goalkeeper off guard. As you can see here, he's gone for power, which is probably the right choice, and it's almost been rewarded for his efforts there. It's a Highlanders corner, so see if they can get that on the head of one of their players.
Trassolini does very well there to make the save, to force the corner. Takano's delivery. Banton tries to get ahead, misses completely. Flicked out there by Raheem, and now on the run here. He will not be able to keep it in for a throw. Jake Ruby. So Ruby actually making Team of the Week this week for USL League 2. Very rare 5-man backline in the Team of the Week, so a good week all around for the defenders who really don't get their due enough, I don't think.
No, they really don't. It's almost the forgotten kind of position of football. But, you know, if you don't have your defence, then you cannot attack. So equally as important.
You've got a golden boot for the goal scorers. You've got golden gloves for the goalkeepers. What about like a golden shin guard for the number 6?
It would be nice, a golden shin guard, but they don't seem to get the applause that they should get. But, you know, maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Jaj does well to get through a D, but Banton covers. Gurman Jaj almost found the seam there. Schneider will go long. Clark is there. So is the rest of the Rovers defense. Now Haynes. Flares it out to the right-hand side. Malamura back to Smichenko. Smichenko cuts inside. Has plenty of space, and the Highlanders are stepping off and letting him take that space. Pang gets past Clark on the deck. Through an entire line of Highlanders and tapping off the boots of Jaj there. Out to the right it goes. That should be a throw for the Highlanders, and it is.
The game slowed down a little bit. I think the first kind of 10-15 minutes they were seeing how they were going to play. And now it's kind of calming down a little bit. So we'll see how the next 5-10 go.
Scoring 2 quick goals off the top. Perhaps both teams thought the better of it. And it will be Davidson going against Gindo here. Gindo does well to shield it. Sends that all the way back to Trasolini. Davidson. Short little ball to Trasolini. Gindo is almost back to his corner flag, but now he'll move out against Clark. Gindo punts that forward. Malamura is waiting for it. Nice overhead kick there. As far as Adib. Chested past McMillan. Young to Cole. Shojai. Iliad Shojai. Low on the deck for Clark, who's got around Trasolini, but that's a very heavy touch from Caleb Clark. That'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, it was. It was a really, really good position. I think maybe a first-time shot would have been good to keep the goalkeeper off guard, but still early, so I'll learn from that one.
Trasolini takes the kick relatively quickly himself. Haynes. Pang. Goes past him. He'll keep that in play. Riley Pang. Jordan Haynes. Gindo moves forward to provide an outlet. Davidson keeps an eye on Haynes, and it's Pang now. Little 1-2 ball. And goes all the way back now to Trasolini. Rovers trying to get Polisi in, which is not a bad idea to have Matteo Polisi pulling the strings. They flare out to the right now. Over the heads of Smichenko and Malamura. Schneider. He will go long. Over the head of Davidson, though Pang's ball careens right off him. Takano can't control. Good work by Raheem to move back there. Along the deck it goes. Millen. A fortuitous bounce, but that one will fall to Jaj. Banton is there first. Pang. Low to Jaj, playing the hold-up role. Bowled over by Adib. Referee isn't interested, and it's low and over. Caleb Clark, one-on-one. Clark gets it over the fingertips. No!
No, it seemed like the right idea from that position. Take it early. The goalkeeper was off his line, but very, very good save there by Trasolini. So I'll be very happy with that one.
Got his fingertips to it, and that was enough to push it wide. Clark tried the chip, seeing the keeper well off his line. Is that the right idea, Max?
Yeah, I believe it was. If you take it early, the goalkeeper's already off his yard by about 5 yards or so, then you stand more chance of getting it in. But unfortunately on this time it wasn't executed as well as it could have been.
Jake Ruby. Mackenzie Cole in the area against Pang. Cuts inside. Takano sliding in his Gindo. Crucial interception there by Eli Gindo. And now on the counter comes the Rovers. McMillan has Jaj, keeps himself shoved down there by Young. It's a cynical shove by Sean Young. I'm surprised to not see a yellow here, though Young may end up getting a talking to, if nothing else.
Yeah, you could see there was a dangerous position on the left-hand side. There was a free player on the left, so you understand the reasoning behind the push.
And
but
that is a yellow, yes.
He's not done well for his team now, unfortunately. So see what comes of this and see if Highlanders can get themselves out of this situation that they're in right now.
Yellow card in the
Highlanders conceded their goal from a set piece and from a much further position. Jordan Haynes with the delivery. And now Sean Young goes into the book here, having shoved down McMillan. And now Matteo Polisi will stand over this. Does he favor a right-footed strike? Malamura comes over as well. 4 in the wall for the Highlanders. Only Intigny staying forward. 5 in the wall now for the Highlanders. Takano nearby. Gindo is staying back, so this will surely be directly to goal by either Malamura or Polisi. You'd think Polisi, and here he goes, hits the wall. Malamura will keep it in play, and he will bounce it off of Iliad Shojai and out for a corner, so they will get a second crack at this.
Yep, the wall did its job there. So as you can see, he's aimed for finesse. A nice tidy finish over the top, but the wall stood firm. And it has been cleared for a corner. Very good defending by the Highlanders.
Switch out of balls there by Haynes. First, the referee will have a quick chat with the folks in the box, wanting to make sure that there is nothing untoward happening, as Haynes will perfectly set up this corner. Quick chat, it looks like between Schneider and Gindo. And the referee is satisfied that is Raheem, actually. My apologies. Raheem having a chat there with Schneider. Haynes. Headed down, but wide. Malamura there looked like trying to find the head, but could not. Adib. Pang heads forward. Cole out to the right. Ruby. Low for Intigny. Touches up. Clark tries the left-footed shot. That's blocked. That should be out for a Highlanders corner, and it is.
Yeah, it was a difficult finish to take. He did take it early, but I think in that position he's probably better off biding his time, looking for some options.
Shojai to take this from the right-hand side. Left footer. This might be an in-swinger. Shojai wants to take this. Sure looks like it. Here's the in-swinger. Over Tressolini, off the bar! That close, Ali Adib! But the crossbar saves the day. And McMillan goes all the way back. I think that was called back perhaps for the offside. We'll have to take a look here. Yes, that is called back. Let's take a look at this.
It was a very, very inviting wall there.
There's the delivery over the head. There's Adib with the diving header off the bar. Flush off the bar, too.
Luciano will be extremely happy to see that one palmed away.
Jaj now. Does get past Adib, but he's offside, says the assistant referee. Standing right there. Jaj doesn't protest too much, but Gurman Jaj has not been far away from finding a line through. He's been playing a very tough hold-up role here against Adib and Banton, who are no small customers. And Adib will take this all the way back to Schneider. Under some pressure now from McMillan, who does force the turnover ever so briefly. Schneider will just thump that long as we hit the half-hour mark. Highlanders 1, Rovers 1. The scoreline holds. It will be the Highlanders claiming the one to Fuca plate. Ruby to Davidson. Davidson trying the through ball to not quite sure who. Takano had his hands on his head, and Clark looked unimpressed, so I have to assume it was for one of them, but ultimately neither. And Tressolini instead will take this goal kick, opts to go short to Pang. Bit of a shift in formation as well here for Rovers as they've moved into more of a 4-2-3-1, maybe a 4-2-4 depending on how the forwards line up. But regardless, Haynes is getting further and further forward into that midfield, providing a key cog for the men in red. Malamura gives it to Raheem. Looking for Jaj, but nothing doing is Shojai. Just happily lob that towards Intigny, going up against Polisi. Davidson wins the throw.
Yeah, neither team seems to be, stringing a few passes together at the moment. It's quite a middle of the park game. So I think there'll be some stern words at half time.
Tigny. Young under pressure there from Zhaj. Young on a yellow. Can't afford to be switched off there. Ken Sean Young. It's Takano. Tries to go around Raheem. Gets it to Tigny. And that is intercepted nicely there by Raheem. And now there's a chance here for the counter. 3 Rovers forward. More joining. Little touch ball there for Zhaj is behind him. Will kill some of the momentum, but not all. Here comes Malamura up the right. Picking his spot here against Shojai. Tries the left footer, and that will curl in directly to Trevor Schneider's waiting arms. Back the other way go the Highlanders. Cole. Clark. Takano. Takano calling for a switch, but nobody's really there. Ruby and Takano now on the right. Over they go. Here goes Intigny. Clark, excuse me. Intigny made the near side run. Polisi, nice little juggle there looking for Zhaj. Finds him. Headed over to McMillan. Leaves the ball behind but recovers. Haynes. Gindo. Out to the left side. Papakiriakopoulos. Polisi. Back down the left-hand side. Sliding in is Staccato, and he had to get that absolutely right. Papakiriakopoulos bearing down that left-hand side. Throw-in taken now by Rovers. Raheem. Polisi trying to dance in. He's doing very well. Goes down in the box. Referee isn't interested in the slightest. And Davidson will just calmly get rid of that. And Gindo will chase. He will stay in, thanks to the efforts of Gindo. And Smichenko to Haynes. Papakiriakopoulos leaves for Raheem. Raheem goes inside. That's where Zhaj is. Polisi had made a forward run, but no ball was coming. Adib now. Clark to Davidson. Now is there something on? Takano has a bit of space here. Up against Papakiriakopoulos. Takano puts the cross in, handily blocked by the left back. Zhaj. Lovely bring down there. Haynes. Watched by Davidson. Does get it to Papakiriakopoulos. Back to Pang. Pang's low ball is intercepted. You can tell he was looking for Malamura there. And on the counter goes Caleb Clark. Can he get there ahead of Gindo? He does. Little stutter step. Clark from the right footer. He's put it well over the bar. Clark, hands go skyward. He knows he needed to do better there. 35th minute, it remains 1-1.
Yeah, he looks a little bit disappointed, and I understand why. I think he's done all of the hard work. He's taken on the big defender at the back, Gindo, and unfortunately he's looked up to the sky, and that's exactly where the ball's ended up.
As a coach yourself, Max, what do you tell your players when they get into that kind of position? They got the goal at their right in front of them.
I think the first things first is you need to look up, because if you don't know where the goal is, you're never going to be able to score. And the main thing is just to stay calm. You must stay calm, relax, and slow the game down in your mind. If you try and panic, then unfortunately that's what happens.
Meanwhile, a little bit of a talking to there for Germain Zhaj, who came in a bit late, and a bit heavy as that play was whistled down. And it will be a talking to and nothing else for Germain Zhaj. Ali Adib to take this free kick. 10 minutes before the half. Scores are level at 1. Smichenko brings that down, but he also brings that out. That'll be a deep throw for the Highlanders. Shojai takes quickly, finds Davidson. Davidson twists away. It's Adib now. This is McMillan. Finds Raheem on the left. Low ball from Malamura across the face of goal. That'll be snapped up by Schneider. Schneider. Ruby now. Watched by Polisi. Goes low along the deck for Takano. Against Papakiriakopoulos. Puts in a low cross. Pang is there. And a deep jumps over Malamura. Will end up with it in the end. Puts it over the top of Shojai, who now has Jaj bearing down on him. And Shojai does the no-nonsense play and puts it into the stands. Thrown in by Smichenko quickly. Malamura over the top. Banton wants the offside. He gets it. As he and Adib had just checked their runs enough before Jaj could make it through.
Bit slow in the final third for both teams there. Not enough kind of confidence and composure at the moment, which is leaving it at 1-1.
Schneider. Gindo heads that down. Only as far as Mackenzie Cole, Caleb Clark, Daniel Davidson. Pang knocks it forward, Riley Pang. Connor McMillan. That will be on the return, McMillan from Raheem. Malamura on the overlap. Back to McMillan. We had a chance there. And now they've gone offside as Malamura tried to go to the end line to provide that final cross.
I do not know why he's not taken that first time. When you're that close to the goal, the only option should be to hit it first time. It's going to be harder to get it over than to get it into the goal. So, strange decision there.
Perhaps feeling the weight of having three defenders around him, McMillan tried to go and bring a teammate in. Regardless, ended up being offside in the process. But it does show that this Rovers attack, when it is clicking, when it is firing, it can threaten. And the Highlanders' defense has been tested multiple times. They've been beaten once on a free kick. Can Rovers find a second here from the run of play? Papakiriakopoulos there, stopped by the joint efforts of Shuntakano and Jake Ruby. Final 7 minutes of the half here. You alluded to it earlier, Max, as the halftime break beckons and the halftime talks beckon. If you're Coach Thomas Niendorf talking to the Highlanders, what do you say here in the halftime break?
I think, like I said before, they need to move the ball a little bit quicker when they're in the final third. I think the development play from the back has been quite good, bar the odd, one or two decisions, but quicker in the final third, and results will happen.
And for Colin Elms and the Rovers?
I think to keep on doing what they're doing, I think they're putting on a lot of pressure on the Highlanders, more than they might have expected. Lots on the line, so keep going and see how the second half goes for them.
Handball called there. So McMillan tried to act as though absolutely nothing wrong had happened, and the referee, sadly, for him, was not fooled. Shojai, he'll actually take his time here, will Iliad Shojai. He can deliver from this position. And they will set up, will the Highlanders. Neither Banton nor Adib have come forward, so it's all of the other attackers waiting for this. Shojai crosses, looking to the penalty spot. Davidson's header goes wildly away. Falls kindly to Takano. Knocks it back to Cole, but Haynes is there first to McMillan. McMillan turns. He has space and time. Takano is bearing down on, but McMillan is away. Up against Young. He's got Young turning. Connor McMillan. Low for Haynes. Haynes tries his luck off the bar! It's a crossbar for each team now, if you're keeping track.
What a counter-attack that was there. That really, really was impressive by TSS. I think that, as you can see, wonderful, wonderful run there by McMillan. He's maintained the ball, great footwork, played a very unselfish pass. It's a wonderful left-footed shot that's ricocheted off the bar.
Great release, too, there from Haynes. Didn't look like a lot, but it had the accuracy to really cause Trevor Schneider and the Lakeside boys a few worries here. And now, sliding in there, a clutch slide there with Sean Young. Otherwise, the Rover counterattack off to the races as Jaj nearly intercepts that. Adib. Davidson. Young. Finds Cole. Banton. Knocks that off of Rahid Rahim. And out it goes.
Yeah, I think the Highlanders will be really, really looking forward to the halftime whistle, and I think TSS will just want this game to continue with the momentum that they've got at the moment.
They started the half well. They're certainly closing the half out well, our Rovers. As the referee has a brief little chat there with Raheem. Nothing further comes of it. And Ruby now will wind up his throw. Takano right back to him. Nice little 1-2 there. Ruby's delivery to Davidson is flicked on, but nobody there whatsoever. And with an educated left foot thumped off into touch there.
Another great opportunity there. So you can say it doesn't matter whether the momentum's for you or against you. It's just a matter of who puts the ball in the back of the net.
Shojai, Tigny, in comes Smichenko. A little bit of an arm there. Referee didn't see it. Shojai is looking far post. Coming up to cut off the angle is Luciano Tressolini. And he's done well to stop Caleb Clark from having a tap in at the far post. Pang now. Approaching the final minutes. Regulation time. Waiting for an indication from the fourth official for stoppages. Jake Ruby. Past Raheem. Takano has his hands full. Manages to go inside. Young immediately closed down. Suffocating press here. The Polisi now is called for being a touch too suffocating with that press on Young. But it does show that the midfield is no longer a safe place for the Highlanders to go. Banton, with authority, thumps that forward, but it will land right at Trasolini. Will happily restart the attack in favor of the Rovers. Papakyriakopoulos. Raheem having his hands full trying to get around the right side there, but Papakyriakopoulos does bank it out for a throw. Jaj, flicked on header. No one immediately to run onto it, and Adib just gets rid of it in the other direction. Guindo will get there ahead of Clark and will just stride past him. Guindo going for a little bit of a run here as the half closes out. Matteo Polisi chips it forward. Jaj is onside this time. Calling for it is Malamura. Short instead, and that's a lovely curler to the back post. How do you like that, Rahid Rahim?
That really was a fantastic little bit of play. As I was saying before, the TSS definitely did not want this half to be over. They probably do now, so they can get and regroup. But a lovely little bit of play there. And he's cut back inside. Very, very intelligent play. And it is a delightful finish. Took it early over the top of the goalkeeper. And that really is an impressive finish just before half-time.
45th minute. Almost on the stroke of halftime. Rahid Rahim has Rovers ahead 2-1. And as it stands right now, that is 2 away goals. So while we may be level at 2-2 on aggregate, if this scoreline holds, the Rovers will leave Vancouver Island with the 1 to Fuca plate. Still 45 minutes to go in this one. Plenty of time for more to happen, and indeed, he might not be done scoring before this half is out. Down there goes McMillan. And that will be a penalty.
Wow.
Adib and Shojai are nonplussed. But now this might be a quick fire double here.
What an end to the half, eh? This has been a crazy, crazy couple of minutes. I think I must admit that was definitely a deserved penalty. It was a penalty. With the top scorer now, Polisi, ready to step up.
We're going to get 1 more minute of stoppage time after this. Question is, will it be 2-1 or 3-1? Matteo Polisi to add to his team leading goal tally against Trevor Schneider. Does well! Matteo Polisi with his 6th. It is 3-1 Rovers.
That was a lovely penalty, though. Hit it hard and true, and unfortunately no stopping for the goalkeeper there. Very focused, very, very direct, and no other result than a goal.
We mentioned off the top that the Rovers have not won a game since their second match of the season. Now, with a plate on the line, would be a great time to find their third, especially as the Highlanders are chasing the division lead with a game in hand. Takano does well to get past Raheem there, the goal scorer. And the referee has decided that will be it for the first half. My goodness, Max, how do you summarize those 45 minutes?
Well, an extremely good start. A pretty tame middle of the half, and then the ending was just as exciting as any other game of football that I've ever seen. So the Highlanders will be a little bit disappointed with that, of course. I think the team talk has definitely changed now. They're going to have to stay calm and bide their time and play their football. But for TSS, they'll be absolutely delighted with that. They've gone in, from a possible 1-1 to a 3-1, which is a huge advantage for them in the second half.
After 45 minutes, the scoreline stands. Vancouver TSS Rovers 3, Victoria Highlanders 1. We'll show you some highlights of the action so far, and on the other side, the second half.
Hey, I'm Jeff, member 44091. Peninsula Co-op is committed to giving back to our local communities. Last year, over $500,000 was given back to 300 initiatives, like education, and sports, and even healthcare. So every time you fill up your vehicle, your home heating oil, or your grocery cart, you're choosing to support Peninsula Co-op's commitment to the community.
Join today!
Peninsula Co-op, moving ahead by giving back.
So many times
a girl and took her hand. He told her, never will I leave you, my love. She said, darling, I've been in and out so many doors, and I've always tried to keep my head with all the men I've known before. And left me there again. Feeling like a stranger to my happiness. I'm feeling like a stranger to my happiness.
Why do we, as humans, choose to travel? We do it because we love to. Because we have to. Or maybe it's because we need to. Because we haven't quite figured out what else to do or be. Because someone told us it wouldn't be smart to, and we knew better. Because we save every last penny to, and some of us work our whole lives to. We can't tell you why you wanderlust or daydream or yearn to run away, but you can tell us. You can tell us why you want to travel. Because isn't that where it all starts? Isn't that where the story begins? You see, we're here for the story, for your story, because we're human too.
Hey, I'm Jeff, Peninsula Co-op number 44091. I just love coming here and earning a rebate. And I love the people who work here, like Colleen. They're so lucky. They get flexible hours, an award-winning culture, tuition assistance, profit sharing, and bonuses. I could use a bonus. They offer career growth, a pension plan, and great bosses.
Hey Jeff, you should apply. We're hiring.
I am here a lot. Peninsula Co-op. Join the team today. Oh, hey, I'm Jeff, member 44091. You know, being a Peninsula Co-op member has all kinds of benefits.
Hey, Jeff, it's me, 26982.
Like everyone knows who you are. Pay a one-time $27 membership fee, and you'll receive an awesome annual rebate.
Hey, Jeff, 3348.
Ah, so you get money back for buying things you need anyway, and money goes back into the community.
Hey, Jeff, 58266.
At Peninsula Co-op, you're more than just a number. Become a member today.
get back underway with the second half of this second leg of the Wanda Fuca Plate Derby between the Victoria Highlanders and Vancouver's TSS Rovers. 3-1 the score stands for the visiting Rovers. That's 3 away goals. So if this scoreline holds, Rovers will win 3-2. Even if the Highlanders get one back and it's 3-3, the away goals will give it, the plate that is, to the Rovers. So the Highlanders at this point need a draw at least to retain the plate. Max, your thoughts as we get ready for the second half here?
Yeah, I think that the Highlanders, the main aim is going to be to score early. I think that you are going to be put under a lot of pressure if you're chasing the game late on. I think after the 15-20 minute mark, if there's not been a goal scored for the Highlanders, then they're going to open up, and it will be a lot easier for the TSS to break and score. So early goal, and just to do the simple things right.
As you can see there, Striker the mascot, just to the left of your screen, got himself a new kilt for his birthday as he's entertaining the fans here at Centennial Stadium. One of the best mascots in the business, according to the supporters here, and can't say I blame him. Meanwhile, back on the pitch, the Rovers have returned as they head to our broadcast right in their red kit with the white trim. The Highlanders remain in their black kit on our broadcast left. No readily apparent halftime substitutions for either side, though we will get confirmation on that for you in just a moment. Scoring summary so far. It was Shuntakano opening things up with a penalty, or a goal from the penalty spot to make it 1-0. And then 3 unanswered from the Rovers, including 2 very late. First, it was Riley Pang heading home a Jordan Haynes free kick to make it 1-1. Then Rahid Rahim from the spot made it 2. And then Matteo Polisi managed to get one as well. That's how we sit at 3-1.
I think TSS are going to want to continue the way that they've been playing in the first half. The end of it was fantastic, of course. I think it will show their discipline and their organisation in the next kind of 5-10 minutes, I think. If they can keep it steady, keep Highlanders out, they're going to be in a really good position. Of course, they should be under a lot of pressure if the Highlanders are going to do what we expect them to.
And just a brief correction there, it was Polisi who scored from the spot. Rahim scored that beautiful curler into the far post top corner on the Rovers counterattack, which has proven, Max, to be arguably their best weapon on the afternoon. That counter for Rovers has drawn blood multiple times.
Yes, it definitely has, and it was a very, very well taken goal there by Rahim. Took it early, and the end result was a goal, which has benefited his team.
As they tend to do.
They do indeed.
Pang now. Who did get the goal that leveled things at 1. Polisi, who has the 3rd goal. Haynes, who delivered that free kick. You can go up and down the pitch here and see the contributions from Rovers. This has been a well done road effort. As a ball there from Jake Ruby, who's cut inside to Caleb Clark up against Gindo. As I just said, the Rovers have been putting in a good away performance, and they're doing it on defense as well. Throw in here for Rovers as Caleb Clark's attack goes nowhere.
He looked a bit disappointed there, and I understand why, but he needs to get that out of his head and concentrate on the game.
Papakiriakopoulos here with the throw. Flicked on by Jaj. Adib. Rahim all over him. Polisi will get the turnover. Once again, that midfield is becoming more of an advantage for Rovers than Highlanders as they continue to put bodies in and start those counterattacks. They've got a throw in now just past the midfield stripe.
I think he's given the free kick there, and it did look a little bit soft, but...
He has. You're absolutely right there, Max. All right, back it comes then. And it will be Haynes to go even further back to Riley Pang. Haynes gets the return, steps forward, and switches play out to the right, where a waiting Danilo Smyshenko goes up against Gauthier Antigny. Both players go to ground. No foul, says the referee. Shojai Goes one-on-one here on the far side. It will be a throw-in for Rovers as the referee checks in with both players following that coming together. And looks like they're all right on the far side of the pitch there. Tigney just checking his boots. Catching his wind. And we are upwardly mobile yet again. Smichenko here on the far side. Meanwhile, Striker is putting in his vote for Supporters' Choice Player of the Year. Don't know if this is your year, Striker. There are some good candidates. Gindo's header saved by Schneider off the bar and over.
Goodness gracious me.
Schneider, perhaps, making his case. And that was Raheem, not Gindo.
It was very much a reactive save there. No one saw it. It was a very, very quick ball in and a glancing header from the right-hand side. And a really, really wonderful reactive save. And luckily for him, it's bounced off the top of the bar. I think he deserves that one.
Raheem with an excellent header. Schneider even better save. Here comes the corner kick. Back in by Smichenko. Flicked clear now by Ruby. Cole there. Can't get past Polisi or McMillan. And Haynes thumps it right back in. Smichenko's header, though, is a poor one, and that's an easy goal kick for Schneider.
Lots more time than he thought there, I think. Rushed that a little bit.
On the far side here, throw in for the Rovers as the attempted breakout breaks down quite quickly for the Highlanders. Intercepted there by Ruby, and now Takano with Banton charging forward from the back line is Banton. But no ball comes with him. Takano and Ruby. Banton still waiting for it, and now he will get it. Josh Banton cuts inside. Cuts it back to Mackenzie Cole. Nice little run there from the big man. Takano crosses. Past Caleb Clark and headed behind for a corner by Smichenko. As the Highlanders get a threatening look at goal there.
It was a very, very inviting cross. It was whipped in with a lot of pace and it's in a perfect area. Just unfortunately, there wasn't a player on the other end of it because it would have been a nice, easy tap it. Nevertheless, corner here for the Highlanders.
50th minute, only 5 minutes into this second half. Rovers 3, Highlanders 1. Shun Takano. He's got a goal. Can he provide an assist here? His team would certainly love an early goal. There's the corner. Headed by Davidson over the bar. Daniel Davidson was able to get clean contact with it, but pushes it over Luciano Tressolini's bar.
Yeah, I think he'd be a little bit disappointed with that. It was a lovely, lovely ball and he had a lot more time than he thought. Maybe he didn't get the call, but we'll see next time.
Banton misses that ball, but Jaj did give away the foul. He's protesting his case with the referee, who is not interested in the slightest. Banton, we've seen this before from him. He comes further and further up the pitch as necessary to provide some sort of a high line and a little bit of a playmaking from the back. You saw that charge out he did from the back just a few moments ago. Maybe more than a few of those as Adib throws away that chance rather poorly, putting that free kick directly into touch. And it'll be a throw in here for Rovers. Taken by Papakyriakopoulos, and now McMillan. Adib gets in front of that before Jaj gets there. Stepping forward was Haynes. McMillan back to Gindo. All the way back to Tressolini. Gindo, and Tigney closes him down. Pang now. Good block there from Takano. He got a boot in, and now Caleb Clark, chance to do something here. Takano. Goes down very quickly. 2 Rovers all over him. Papakyriakopoulos and Polisi come back to help as well. Now, going the other way. Here comes the run for Raheem. Raheem inside for Jaj. He's got to step on Adib. Jaj makes it off the post. That looked all the world for the 4-1 goal. And Gurman Jaj cruelly denied by the woodwork.
He's done everything right there. Everything right but the finish. Unlucky.
Papakyriakopoulos now. Left-footed cross. Finds the head. Over the bar. And Smichenko there. Or, excuse me, that would be Malamura.
Yeah, he's done everything right there. He's got such composure. He's taken his time and he's tried to be a little bit too clever. Maybe go for a bit more power, but nevertheless, it was good build-up play, and TSS will be happy with that.
Josh found the matchup he liked there. Undressed Adib, got great service from Raheem. And it was very nearly, that might have been the dagger. Meanwhile, other way, Davidson, onside. Can't get it through, but he will get the corner out of it. He had Papakyriakopoulos bearing down on him.
Didn't look particularly in control, and didn't look like he fully believed that he was going to be throwing goal there. A little bit more conviction, and it could have been 3-2.
Iliad Shojai. Deliver this in swinger. It's high, back post, flicked away there by Gindo. Digny will chase it down against Malamura. Malamura does very well to defend it there. It's it first time, keeps it in play. No, he does not. It was teasing over the touchline there, but right about the midfield stripe, it will be a throw-in.
Yeah, Highlanders really need to get their wingers into the game. We know that they can be very, very attacking and very positive for their team, but very silenced today so far.
And once again, the theme that we've seen whenever the Highlanders get frustrated, they concede possession so easily, and once again we see it there. Good chance to do something, knocked right back out. Lovely 1-2 play here. Polisi is imposing number 10 Takano, trying to get in front of him. Nothing doing. Papakyriakopoulos now has space, and he will go for a run. Inside now. Nicely knocked away, though, by Cole, checking back. Tripping over it there was McMillan. 2 Highlanders close him down. Ruby stretches out. Can't get there. McMillan sliding in is Takano. Aggressive challenge there from Shun Takano. He's all ball. McMillan makes the hop. And it's a throw-in taken quickly. Papakyriakopoulos centers it. Polisi hooks it over the heads of everyone, but not Banton. Takes 2 touches, one off the head, and puts it to midfield. Polisi. McMillan. Ruby slides in. Young avoids the press. Jaj goes after Adib. Adib gets rid of it. And it'll be out for a throw.
Little bit of a worrying, last 5 minutes here for the Highlanders. As you said, they've lost the ball 5 or 6 times in that period of time. So they need to get on the ball and try and calm things down a bit.
Meanwhile, coming together there between Malamura and Intigny. Chad goes off of Intigny and out for a throw.
Here are awesome supporters down there, the Lakeside Boys. Lakeside Boys Supporters Choice Player of the Year Award is going to be voted
Intigny.
on soon and given out at the end of the match. How can you play a part and cast your vote?
And a free kick given away there. As the fouls are coming in, or the tackles I should say, are coming in a little bit stronger than they were in the first half. Fouls are starting to pile up just a little bit. Haynes will stand over this. And they will set up, will the Rovers, for this is a full-on set piece. Forward comes Pang, forward comes Gindo, Jaj is there, Raheem. It's on the far left-hand side. Here's the delivery. Flicked on, and Schneider does well again. Pang thought he had his second. But Trevor Schneider, he's come up with a couple of beauties here, Max, and he's done well again.
He really has. Schneider says no, no, no. It's a lovely ball again, whipped in. Perfect in-swinging delivery, and like I said before, all you need is a little flick, which it got today. And what a wonderful save. Reactive save again, and it's gone out for a corner. He's having a great game, Schneider.
Raheem's delivery. Davidson heads clear. Only as far as Malamura. Puts it back in immediately. Cleared by Young this time. Kyriakopoulos. Over to McMillan. As they use the left-hand side here. Nice little back heel from Raheem. Coming together of shoulders there. Kept in play nicely by McMillan. See an Intigny battle there. And we'll go out for a throw for Rovers. Kyriakopoulos Sizes up his options. The Rovers have fallen back here. That will perhaps be the call to regroup in midfield. Now Haynes shows, but it's Jaj getting past Ruby. Nutmegs Banton. Jaj crosses. Oh, he was looking for Malamura, who was wide open at the back post, but the delivery just wasn't there. Smichenko. One-touch ball from Polisi. And that one touches itself all the way past Malamura. And now Davidson will try and clear it, and he will get the fortuitous throw-in.
Yeah, George has really impressed me over the last kind of 5-10 minutes. Just the final ball that's lacking.
I'm sure Banton won't soon forget who nutmegged him either. That'll weigh on the brain a little bit. Free kick goes the way of Rovers here.
No one likes a nutmeg against them. And no one.
Is there any more demoralizing play in football?
I don't think so. There's no coming back from that. Till you nutmeg someone else, it's the only thing on your mind.
And of course, a thank you to all of you who've been watching the Highlanders home broadcasts on YouTube this year. Comment coming in, singing the praises of Iliad Shojai, saying he's going to be a star one day. So the Highlanders left back has had a great season, Max, and he's put in no small amount of good deliveries this afternoon.
Yeah, definitely. You can tell that he's got a very good delivery from the static ball, but he also makes very, very good attacking runs as well. So gives his team many, many options.
Meanwhile, corner up coming here for Rovers as Haynes in absolutely no rush to get this as we approach the hour mark. And time now firmly on Rovers' side to retain the Wanda Fuca plate and deny the Highlanders a chance at moving up in their quest for the Northwest Division crown. A D with the header there. Stopped at the line. Ball is through a bunch of legs. Unfortunately, the last ones they hit were not Highlanders' legs, and Polisi's shot is for naught. Schneider goes upfield. Ruby is running for it against Papakiriakopoulos. He gets past him. Jake Ruby has Pang now to deal with. Opts to cross. Cleared by Guindo, behind for a corner. From one end to the other with corner kicks. Now the game opens up.
You saw the urgency there from Schneider. He really, really wants this, and I think the rest of the team really need to match that energy. Ruby as well, really, really good play down the wing. So let's see if the rest of them can step up.
Ruby, it actually is only a throw, not a corner. Bent it just the last second there. Flicked on, down for Davidson. Can he get a second touch? No, he can! He does indeed get it! It looked like Tressolini had managed to snatch it there, but no! There's the second touch, and there's the second goal for the Highlanders. 3-2 at the hour mark.
This is just about being in the right place at the right time. It's a nothing throw, really, and it's been headed on by the TSS defender, and nice little flick. It's landed comfortably for him, and you've got to be there to score them. So the first 10-15 minutes is when you need to get into the game. If you're 2 goals down, and just on the 15-minute mark, they're back in the game.
Daniel Davidson, once again, comes through. Last time he hit the score sheet at home, it was a brace on his birthday. He was rightly named player of the match for that performance. Find another brace tonight if he can. Suddenly we're talking about a whole new dimension here to the Wanda Fuca plate. Meanwhile, a little bit of a clumsy challenge there by Mackenzie Cole. Graman Jaj. Referee allows it to continue. He doesn't allow that one from Takano though. And Rahid Rahim, has earned himself a free kick taken quickly by Polisi. McMillan. That's a good slide in though from Jake Ruby. He absolutely had to get that right. That was a tricky short kick there. That was well taken by the Rovers.
It definitely was, and it just shows how well Ruby's playing at the moment. Very switched on, very aware of what's going on, which is exactly what you need when you're chasing the game. So, let's see how the next 5-10 minutes go. But the Highlanders just need to calm things down, play simple football, and hopefully that chance will come for them.
Raheem's delivery. Punched clear by Schneider. Headed back down by Polisi. But I believe it was called there. Indeed it was. Bit fortuitous there for Highlanders. It looks like Rovers are going to get a second crack at that quite nicely. Josh and Banton there. Banton wins that header. Cole trying to get past Malamura. Nothing doing. Gindo faces down and Tiggy. Nice little touch there from Gindo. And his second touch isn't bad either. Haynes had a little trouble with it. Shmachenko will go long. Over the head of Adib, but Jaj is offside.
Very fortuitous, and he was through on goal if that's gone through. But once again, Schneider's very, very quick to get them going, and I really, really like that.
There's a long ball. Clark is once again there, jostling. It'll fall to Cole. Fortunately, that jostling was perhaps a little too aggressive for the referee's liking. Free kick to the Rovers.
I'll say Gindo's looked very, very calm today.
He has.
Very relaxed.
Definitely a calming presence along that back line. Towering one. You're never going to mistake him on the pitch.
He towers above everybody else, doesn't he?
And the throw in now from the far right side from Smachenko. It will fall nicely. Nice little touch there. McMillan and Haynes now to Polisi. McMillan. Malamura. Crosses. Schneider catches. Jaj was there, and a dangerously unmarked Raheem was also lurking on the far side. Schneider will opt to clear this out via the boot, and he sends the right footer upfield. Clark chests it down. And as far as Raheem to win the second ball, given away in midfield by Sean Young. Those giveaways, they're an inconvenience at the best of times. They may end up proving fatal if this scoreline holds.
This is where Banton really needs to come into the game and be more vocal with his team. Try to control them, keep them calm, and the chances will come.
Cole. Pressured by two Rovers there. Manages to come away with it. Only for a moment. McMillan. You can tell the idea from that ball from McMillan, just not enough on it. Davidson, one touch to Cole. Back to Davidson, the goal scorer. Highlanders, who's looking for the run of Intigny, but not placed well. Haynes will go the other way for Rovers. Raheem. Polisi's long ball. His opposing number 10, Takano, flicks it right back. Cole. Davidson has a little space, finds the overlap of Takano, who switched sides. Takano charges down the right, crosses low, banks it off, but not out. Pang keeps it in play. You can see the idea there. Two targets charging in, Clark and Intigny. Fortunately, the defenders in red had other ideas. Jaj sees the run here of Malamura. Back to Smachenko. Gindo. Haynes. Papakiriakopoulos. Puts in the far post delivery. That'll fall right for Iliad Shojai. We'll send that out into touch.
Game's opening up a little bit. Seems a bit end-to-end, but we haven't seen a lot of Clark in the second half so far. They really do need to get him into the game. We know what he can do, so it's just about getting him in those positions to finish it off.
Meanwhile, substitution coming in here as Intigny's day is done.
Never really got into the game today. Had a few touches, but wasn't himself today.
But a known quantity who has shown up this season, more often than not, Mitchell Papadinitz, as it's nearly a 4-2 game here. So Schneider gets bailed out there. Takano goes long. That falls for Clark. He should get there and does. Pang watches him. Clark keeps back to Takano. Takano goes down, tripped over the ball though, and it's back the other way for the Rovers. No hurry here. They know they've got to kill a little bit of time. Ruby's outstretched leg is easily avoided by Matteo Polisi. Papakiriakopoulos playing the 1-2 now. Watched by Takano. Has to get rid of it. Pang will go long. And that will sail right towards Bandon, who chests it down. Jaj closes in on him. Bandon gets that only as far as Raheem. Young will put it out into touch. Be left there by McMillan. Nico Papakiriakopoulos with the throw. Matteo Polisi. Jordan Haynes. Gindo. David Malamura on the run here. Goes low, stopped by Adib. Polisi, lovely touch to trap that. Tries to play it off the arm there of Cole. Body's going down. Free kick ends up going the way of the Highlanders as McMillan adjudged to have committed the foul there. As the supporters urge their team on, calling for an all-out attack. And in the 68th minute, certainly can't blame them for asking for that. Flicked on by Davidson. Papadinets. Banked off of him by Gindo, out for a throw. Dinets playing an advanced left-sided role.
This is going to be a really, really important next 5-10 minutes here for the Highlanders. They need to stay composed, but they're going to have to start taking risks as the game goes on.
McMillan has Jaj with him. Shojai closes down on him. Still McMillan, though. Does cut inside. He's done very well as McMillan. Ball for the overlap from Malamura. Crosses. Finds Raheem, who does not find the net. And the score remains 3-2 Rovers.
It's a really hard one to take, I must admit. It really, really is. The backspin on it, and it's just ricocheted off him and gone the other side. Did well in that position, but unfortunately for TSS, it's bounced right.
Gindo back to Trasolini. Shojai chests it down.
Great composure.
Fortunately, the accuracy left a little bit to be desired. Banton now. He go for one of his runs. Looked like he wanted to. Leaves for Cole. Papadinets goes down. No call. Recovers. Davidson now back to Shojai. Here comes the Rovers press again. In form of Malamura. All the way back to Schneider. Schneider hoofs it to the far right-hand side. Ruby is there. Touches it to Takano. Young. Back for the overlapping run of Ruby. He's got space here. First time ball across the face of the penalty area. Gindo was always going to be there. One more touch maybe from Ruby just to get himself ahead. Was needed there. He might get another chance though, as here goes Banton. Captain Banton today. Papadinets. There's some sort of support. Finds Cole. Back to Papadinets. Clark is through, but he's offside. Takes his shot. It's blocked. It doesn't matter. The flag is up.
That was very, very close, but I do like the build-up play there. I think the Highlanders will take a lot from that. Quick 1-2s, good movement, and then they've, but for the offside would have been through on goal. So lots of positives for that little bit of play.
71st minute. Vancouver's TSS Rovers, 3. Victoria Highlanders, 2. Currently, the Wanda Fuca plate sits level at 3 goals apiece and 1 win apiece. As it stands, though, Rovers have the away goals, 3 of them. They won't be getting a 4th off of that shot, though it does dribble out behind. Not for a corner, though, just for a goal kick. Schneider urges his teammates forward. Shots have really exploded here since the first half, sitting at 12-6 in favor of TSS Rovers. They have not let their foot up since their 3 unanswered goals came to a conclusion at the end of the first half. Schneider has made a couple of just gorgeous saves to keep the Highlanders in it. Now Clark on the header from Takano. Pang will get there first, put it out for a throw. Takano calls for it quickly from the ball kids. Opts instead to leave it for Ruby, who does throw it in now. Cole. Clark. Can Cole get there? Jostling against Haynes. Won't be able to do it, though. And Pang will get rid of it. Banton and Jaj. Banton wins it. But Jaj had moved into an offside position, though. And the play is stopped.
Yeah, Haynes has done really well in that centre defensive position there for TSS today. He's cleared the ball up and in the right kind of positions to intercept the ball, but also very calm on there as well. So good performance from him today.
Ruby will take this. Switches out wide. Shojai. Smichenko. Here comes Papadinitz. Still Papadinitz. Takano. Inside. Left footer. He forced a save out of Trasolini. The Rovers goalkeeper had to be there, and he was. Comfortable in the end. But Takano had trickery on his mind.
Lovely little bit of play here. He's cut inside onto his favoured left. And it's a lovely little ball, but unfortunately not enough power.
Did well to fake the overlap there from Ruby. He just needed that half second of buy-in. Meanwhile, Kyriakopoulos tries to bring in McMillan. That's not happening, and Takano will get another chance to go the other way. Showing is Davidson. Ruby, Cole, and Young. Papadinitz has Shojai on the overlap, being watched by Malamura. Inside to Cole, Young now. Davidson loses out in the end. Good back checking there, but only so far. But that's clumsily given away. Clark trod on the boot of his opponent, and the referee calls that a foul. And I was about to praise the build-up there, Max. I think everybody but the center backs got their boots on that one in that build-up.
Well, yeah, definitely so. It's not been bad so far, the last 5, but we need to see something from the Highlanders or this game's just going to start slipping away.
Meanwhile, a bit of cramping here on the deck as a substitution is queued up for Rovers. I believe that's Davidson. It is Davidson who's being looked at by Gindo now.
Yeah, a nice bit of sportsmanship there by Gindo, always nice to see.
And he will get up.
74th minute for the TSS Rovers.
And we'll just get confirmation on the substitute now.
Number 7.
And that will be the end of the afternoon for Rahid Rahim. He's got a goal to his name, well earned, and he will be replaced by Cromack. That will be Henry Cromack. This is definitely a defensive-minded substitution. Cromack playing a sort of defensive or midfield role. It's listed multiple ways on multiple team sheets. I'm going to go with midfield-esque today.
Raheem will be very happy with his performance today, though. Definitely so. It was a really, really well taken goal, and he's been in the right positions on the left and the right, swapping, confusing the defense of the Highlanders, and he can take a lot of credit for this game. Very good performance.
Trasolini goes long. Ulysses header. Shaj can't get there. Adib bundled over. He will win the free kick there. Another substitution here. Highlanders did manage to make a substitution as well during that break. And Davidson indeed did come off after that injury, so he has a goal, and unfortunately his day is done there. And coming in is Keenan Cawley. There isn't a large bench here for either side, and Cawley is nominally a defensive player, so I have to assume the call here is to push Shojai further up the field and play Cawley on the offside, unless Cawley is going to be deputized into a forward position, which would be an interesting deployment. And indeed, that is where he's setting up. It looks like he's sort of taking the role that Shintakano would otherwise be holding there on the center right side of the pitch. Meanwhile, back to live play. Adib and Shojai step forward, and now Cole will go the other way. Mackenzie Cole, first time ball to Takano, who has indeed switched wings now. Tries his luck from distance. That was a speculative shot at best. But it's a low percentage shot, and those aren't exactly the kind you need to be taking at the 77th minute mark.
No, I'd be extremely disappointed if I was his teammates there. I can understand, and I'm glad that he's confident in his own ability. That's always good for a young player. But making that decision in the 77th minute when your team's chasing the game is, a pretty immature one. So hopefully he will learn from that.
Banton now. Adib. Adib makes sure he can get past Malamura and does. Cromack make that, who has moved forward. Cromack providing that defensive presence, and now quickly taken by Highlanders here on the free kick to Kano. Bounces off of Spichenko, and Haynes, excuse me. And that will be a corner for Highlanders, 78th minute.
Big opportunity to get back into the game here. They need a good delivery. They need to get the defensive players, their big presences, into the box. Let's see how it goes.
Takano needs to get this right. Let's put it near post, brought down by Banton in a duel with Gindo. Takano will get a second effort at it. Tried to cut inside, slipped over himself. Gindo goes over him. Gets it only as far as Ruby. Ruby now goes down. And it rolls out for a throw. Everyone was looking at the referee to see if something had happened, but apparently they'd all forgotten to play to the whistle.
Yeah, I think he definitely should have got the ball back into the box there. They had all of their players up. They're in the attacking position, so unfortunately the wrong decision there.
Young for Colley. Banton. Jaj watches him. Banton will just go for a run. The big man up the right side. Big time Banton. Shakes off one, shakes off two, but big boot from Mr. Big Time. Just a bit too far. You could see the idea there to look for the far post.
Yeah, definitely, and it's positive play as well, you know. If you're seeing your centre half striving, 60, 70 yards up the field in the 80th minute, that's very, very positive for him on a personal note, but the rest of the squad don't particularly look like they are matching that, and to get back into this game with a lot on the line, they really need to go up that extra 10%.
We've got 4 prizes, so I'm going to go through them again. And then
Trassolini.
Reading the numbers a little bit. We're going to do them quickly tonight. So the first one's the cash. The second one is 2 rounds
Cromack.
to Highland Pacific. The third is a hat and a tee.
Ball on deck, can get past the deep. Tries again. And clearly in an offside position. And seen immediately
$244. We got a blue ticket.
by the assistant referee.
5, 7,
Can't fault the effort though.
0, 9, 7. Once again, blue ticket.
Another long ball. Schneider will scoop this up. 10 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Highlanders 2, Rovers 3. Level at 3 on aggregate. Away goals favor the Rovers. If this scoreline holds, the Wanda Fuca plate remains on the mainland. And the Swan Guardians will be taking it back with them on the ferry ride home. Highlanders score a goal. It will be a trophyless ride home on the ferry for the visitors from Burnaby.
Yeah, it sets up as a nice position for a neutral, because 1 goal will win it, you feel, at this stage of the game. So let's hope that both teams put in that extra 10%.
Long throw. Challenge there. Shojai will keep it in. As far as Haynes, though, Takano's on him, but Haynes does very well to keep his composure. Shakes off the challenge. Back to Pang. Pang goes far right side. Overlapping run here. Smichenko, but it will instead go over to McMillan. Does well to get in there.
Thanks so much, everyone, for playing.
And back forward they go. Cromack, as over the ball goes Adib. He's tripped on it. And saved by Schneider. Perhaps should have done a lot better with that chance. That shot did not look like it gave Schneider too much difficulty. Colley, though. Forced out to the right by 3 Rovers defenders. And Colley looking for a foul, not given, and he's going to have to look a lot harder if he wants one. That seems about consistent with the way we see the game called this afternoon. This evening, rather, now. Banton. Flicked forward by Papadinitz. Only as far as McMillan. And now this is a great-looking run here. And sliding back in is Takano. Slides everywhere, but this time Takano is called for being a touch too reckless with his boots, much to the dismay of the home crowd.
Yeah, at this stage in the game, there's always going to be some dangerous challenges and some frustrated challenges, and as expected with young football players. But I think he got the decision spot on there 100%.
Haynes will get the free kick here. Picks his target. Schneider's there. Does well to challenge for it and claim it. That was a tough challenge. Plenty of big bodies in the box. He goes long. Those big bodies now have to get back on defense, and Cole finds himself in a nice position. Forward. Sean Young bounces it off the defender. Plays it low, looking for the run of Caleb Clark, who can't get it past Drassolini. Caleb Clark found his seam, found the run, just could not find the touch. The referee stopped play for an injured Rover on the deck here.
I think he almost couldn't believe that he'd received the ball there. He looked in shock. It was a good run, and I think at this point they thought that they'd lost the ball. Wonderful pull through, and yeah, unfortunately off balance, and you know, on another day it's going to go in the back of the net, but the Highlanders need it to happen right now.
Young was very fortunate to get that bounce going his way. Got the ball through to Caleb Clark, and Danilo Smichenko did just enough to keep the big striker off balance. Not able to get solid contact. There was Clark, and the score remains 3-2. Meanwhile, it is Pang who is currently on the deck, Riley Pang, being looked at now. There is some movement over on the far side of the pitch and near the substitutes area. That may be the end of Pang's day as he's being looked at. David Malamura there with Pang.
I think both teams are probably welcoming this little break right now, but it's very clear what the Highlanders need to do. They need to go for it. There's less than 10 minutes left. I think there's much more obvious decision to lose 4-2 in the game today, trying to go for 3-3.
Here's why Pang is currently on the deck. When Young took his bouncer, that fortuitous bounce we talked about came off the head of Riley Pang. Head/face area. Does not look like he was prepared for it at all, so he's undoubtedly seeing more than a few stars right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he's pulled off just for concussion protocol.
Well, I don't think you can ever really prepare for that.
Substitution for your Highlanders FC.
Meanwhile, there is a substitution for the Highlanders. They roll the dice with what they have on the bench. Mackenzie Cole will be coming off. He's had a decent game in the midfield, but he'll be replaced by a certainly more attacking-minded option in Kensho Ando. Ando has shown well in substitute appearances. He will need to show arguably his best right now if he plans to help his team hoist the Wanda Fuca plate tonight. Some water being brought out here for Pang, who is not being rushed at all. Trainers doing the right thing here, taking their time. No sense rushing this back.
Yeah, he's had a very assured performance today, so let's hope he's all okay. Yeah, they're definitely making the right decision. You can't rush an injury if it's head or neck. It needs to be dealt with in the right way.
We sit at 3-2. Rovers 3, Highlanders 2. Shun Takano got things started for the Highlanders with a goal from the spot. It was then leveled by Riley Pang's header off of a set piece. Second goal, an absolutely lovely curling strike by Rahid Rahim. Made it 2-1. And then in a quick-fire double right before the halftime whistle, penalty was won by the Rovers. Matteo Polisi converted to make it 3-2. 3 unanswered goals for the Rovers. In the second half, though, responding for the home team, Daniel Davidson was a bit scruffy, but it got through in the end. He managed to get that final toe poke on, and that is where we currently sit. 3-2 on the day, 3-3 on aggregate for the Wanda Fuca plate, with the away goals advantage being held by Vancouver's TSS Rovers. Meanwhile, it looks like there is a substitution being queued up here. That will be the end of the day for Riley Pang. Not a surprise at all. Better safe than sorry here. That is Riley Pang's day done. Coming in, we're just waiting for the number on that as the drop ball is picked up by Trasolini. Clark and Trasolini were about that close not too long ago. Trasolini got the better of Clark that time.
22, Riley Penn. Coming into the game, number 23, Des Tashi.
And it will be Des Cashy coming in. Little ball there for Kromak. Bounces off a bant and Schneider out quickly to claim it. Banton. Ruby. Ando flares out to the left for Takano. Headed back to Shojai. 88th minute. Papadinit slow for Ando. Takes a touch. In comes Haynes to break it up. Jordan Haynes has done everything that's been asked of him from that number 6 role. Gets barged off the ball there by Ali Adib, and he's won his team a free kick on the correct side of midfield.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. With the game at the stage in which it is, all you can ask of your centre defensive midfielder is to stay calm and to make the right decisions. And so far, Haynes has been very, very intelligent with his play and has won a free kick in a very, very nice position for his team.
It will be Puglisi setting up over this. Headed clear. Not away completely, though. Nice little touch, 1-2. Kashi, substitute, trying to make something happen here. Goes through Shojai. Great save by Schneider. The flag stays down. And second save! A double save from Trevor Schneider. Half the Highlanders were looking at the AR for the offside flag. Thank goodness one of them wasn't Trevor Schneider.
He really has been phenomenal for his team today. So late in the game, he's still putting in 110%, which is fantastic. You know, a lot of the times you would probably expect the ball to hit the back of the net, but wonderful, wonderful stopping from Schneider today.
Haynes now, as we approach the end of the regulation 90, there will undoubtedly be stoppage time for Pang's injury. Schneider claims the free kick there. Quickly tries to get things going and does. Drop kick. Guindo clears that out to touch. Here's a look at the double save here. And this is Schneider doing everything he can to keep his team in the game. This is a lovely run forward there. Kromak can only look on as Schneider saves the day not once but twice. Ando, Papadinit. On the far left now, Takano. Switches. Ruby's made the run. Heads it down! Oh, he didn't get a lot on it, but he did so well to even make contact with that. And Tressolini will fall on the ball here with Clark and Ruby right on top of him. Swan Guardians, meanwhile, they are singing in their end of the stadium as the Highlanders look on anxiously. We're hearing 5 minutes now. 5 minutes of stoppage time for the Highlanders to find a goal. Level this match, which we will remind you does have implications on league play. A draw will keep the Highlanders' hopes of staying atop the division alive. A loss, while not the end of the world, definitely puts a serious dent in them and makes the final 2 matches of the season, the doubleheader against Calgary, vital. You have to think those 2 matches, Max, will determine the champion of the division.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've been, based on the results at least, the best 2 teams in the division so far. So,
Shojai finds him a Ruby, but Tressolini is there! I was about to say Lane United might disagree on that point, but regardless, Shojai nearly linking up perfectly with Ruby. Colley was watching too, but just not able to beat Tressolini. He's been beaten twice. He does not look like being beaten a 3rd time. Can the Highlanders solve him as time ticks down? Adib tries to go for a run by himself, and he gets a fortuitous bounce to keep it in there off of Papakiriakopoulos, and it will be a throw for the Highlanders. Ruby. Ando. About 3 minutes now from the Rovers retaining their title as the Wanda Fuca plate holders. They have the advantage on away goals. Banton. Adib. Papadinets charges into the midfield. Ando can't get there ahead of Haynes. Haynes doing what he's done for 90-plus minutes now. Absolutely snuff out the life of that midfield attack. Adib's throw to Schneider. He's jumping forward there. One of them was Smichenko. Papadinets to Shojai. Tries to cut in. Does manage to throw off the challenger. Goes to Deck. Colley. Forward it goes. Takano's into the area. Takano clips it forward. Sean Young. Can't find the shot. Papadinets blocked. Ando. First time shot. Knuckles it right towards Trasalini.
That was a real opportunity there. Real good opportunity.
He did not waste time, did Kensho Ando, of just hammering this first time. You could see him winding up from a kilometer away.
It was just a matter of who was going to take the shot and not when.
Ruby, back to Adib. Adib goes down from the challenge there from Jaj. Young to Banton. Approaching the last chance saloon rather quickly here. Perhaps Banton sensing it. Charges forward, but that is another giveaway. We've said it many times. This matches others. The cheap giveaways more deadly than they should be for these Victoria Highlanders. Surely time for one more attack here. Can Rovers hold on? They've got about 60-ish seconds for the final whistle. Shojai brought down. That will be a foul. And will it be more? Gindo does indeed see a yellow.
I think that's the first mistake that Gindo's made, but at this stage in the game, you really do have to go for that. And they'll be disappointed with the yellow card, but I think all will be forgiven because it needed to be done.
Memories of Joshua Walters' goal of the week winning free kick goal from about this distance are flooding back. Highlanders would love to have him here for this, no doubt. Instead, they get either Takano or Shojai. And they find the mark. Everybody but Schneider's forward for this. Ball receives its instructions from the referee. It's Shojai. Goes short to Takano. Into the area, cleared. I believe that was Polisi who'd come all the way back to clear that. Is that it? Schneider. Ando, only man back. You have to think it's now or never. Young, and it will be never. TSS Rovers, 3-2 winners. They retain the Wanda Fuca plate, 3-3 on away goals.
Very disappointing there for the Highlanders. They'll be, like I said, very disappointed with the end result. And you can just see then Eli Gindo, what it means to him then with that huge drop kick pretty much out of the stadium. So yeah, you can't doubt the passion.
You could see it there just earlier on the face of Josh Banton as well. He knew what was at stake here, not just the league points, but the trophy as well. Handshakes between the Salish Sea Derby rivals. And the Wanda Fuca plate will go back across the Salish Sea with TSS Rovers as the supporter groups now make their way across the athletic pitch to set up the presentation of both the Wanda Fuca plate and the Lakeside Boys Supporters Choice Award, for Team MVP. We're setting that up now. So we'll take a look at some second half highlights while they do that. When we come back from these highlights, we will pick things up pitch side for the presentation of the Wanda Fuca plate and the Supporters Choice Award.
much for all you do, and to every Highlander, we appreciate every one of you, but thank you, Shun, for the Player of the Year. Thank you. He wants to know if he can drink a beer with it. Of course he can. That's kind of the point. Now it's also rather special, this being our final game of the season. It is also the presentation of the Wanda Fuca Plate. This trophy was created by supporters groups in British Columbia. Originally, groups supporting the Vancouver Whitecaps U23 team, the Victoria Highlanders, and now
Standing here with the 2019 Supporters' Choice Award winner, Shun Takano. Shun, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
The supporters have loved your season so far. How have you felt about this season?
Well, to be honest, I didn't expect we are doing really well this season, but boys are walking out together and everything contributing for team. So that's why we are doing very well this season. So this award is not only me, this award is for everyone, I think.
So you talked about the team doing well. There are 3 games left in this season. The Northwest Division is still very much up for grabs. How confident are you that you can bring it home?
Well, definitely, this is our dream right now, so we have to grab it. Not only desire, we have to go into the grab it. If we're gonna try to do it really hard, I think we can achieve it.
All right, Shun Takano, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Meanwhile, behind me, TSS Rovers hoist the Wanda Fuca Plate for 2019. They will be celebrating on the ferry ride home, as will the Swan Guardians. That's going to do it for our broadcast for the final home game of the season. For Max Dalton and everyone here at the Highlanders, my name is Arturo. Thank you so much for watching. See you next season.